Faster. Stronger.
Ridiculous from the big man. Budapest.
Smarter.
How could we finish any other way?
The famous Olympic Games dates back thousands of years. What started with a few participants and just one event, running, has turned into an international symbol of unity, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. From record-breaking performances to astonishing displays of athleticism, the Olympics have continually redefined what humans can achieve. These athletes have devoted their entire lives to the sport, training every day, eating the right food, and practicing over and over again. It all boils down to these few moments where they must perform. One small mistake could mean the difference between world recognition and absolute failure. Humans keep improving, getting more technically advanced. Records continue to be broken as we enhance our skills. But sometimes, every once in a while, an athlete does something so impressive, an execution beyond what was believed possible, that it automatically writes itself into the books of legends. Today, we're going to take a look at these moments. I now present to you 10 Olympic moments that redefined human limits. We start our list at number 10 with a woman named Yelena Isinbayeva. The 26-year-old Russian pole vaulter surprised the whole world when she stepped on stage at the 2008 Olympics. She obliterated the previous record, jumping a mind-blowing height of 5.05 meters. For some context, the last woman to hold the world record before Yelena was in 2001, vaulting a mere 4.81 meters. Yelena still holds the world record to this day. Too good to be beaten, I guess. Speaking of impressive performances, at number 9 we have Paavo Nurmi. You may not know this man by name, but perhaps his nickname, the Flying Finn, rings a bell? His accomplishments are from an earlier era, but are still spoken of today, providing the magnificence of his feats. The Finnish legend was a long-distance runner, and he was fast. Across 3 Olympics from 1920 to 1928, Paavo earned 10 gold medals and 3 silver medals, truly displaying his superiority. I guess you could say he was in it for the long run. Carrying on to number 8, we have a man who many consider the face of the Olympics, Usain Bolt. At the Beijing Olympics in 2008, the Jamaican world-renowned sprinter stepped up to the starting block, about to completely shock the world. Seconds before sprinting, there was complete silence, followed by the starting blow. Bolt took off alongside 8 blood-hungry sprinters. After just 19.3 seconds, covering 200 meters, Bolt sprinted his way into a new world record, beating the previous record holder, American Michael Johnson, who had a time of 19.32 seconds. Bolt continued performing, but there's more about that later in the video. For now, let's shift our focus to number 7, Mark Spitz. Just like his number on this list, the American swimmer stunned the world by competing in 7 events and winning 7 gold medals in the same Olympics. It was back in 1972 at the Munich Olympics. Mark was in a class of his own when it came to swimming. Nobody could touch him. Each gold medal he won was a new world record, showcasing how much more advanced he was compared to his fellow competitors at the time. No athlete before Mark had won more than 4 gold medals in a single Olympics. Alongside his well-trimmed mustache, Mark became a global sports icon, transcending swimming to become a symbol of athletic excellence. Mark Spitz's 7 gold medals stood as the record for most gold medals in a single Olympics for 36 years. The man, however, who broke this record is included later in the list, so stay tuned. At number 6 we have the Romanian woman Nadia Comaneci. Back in 1976, at the age of 14, she delivered the performance of her life. Nadia was a gymnast, and at the Montreal Olympics in 1976, she delivered a performance so perfect that she scored the world's first perfect 10. After performing her routine and getting her perfect 10, the initial reaction from the crowd was rather confused because the scoreboard said 1.00 rather than 10.00, as it wasn't designed to show a perfect score, given that it had never happened before.
And that is Olympic history for Nadia Comaneci.
Moreover, Nadia went on to score a total of 7 perfect 10s in the same competition, proving she was just that much better of a gymnast than any other human who ever set foot on this earth.
10 she's got. She's got another 10. It is quite incredible.
Her performance significantly raised the standards in gymnastics. The level of precision, difficulty and artistry required to achieve such scores set a new benchmark for future gymnasts and elevated the sport's overall profile. Naturally, her great achievements captured the attention of the whole world, and she quickly became a global sensation and a sports icon, especially to young gymnasts. Nadia Comaneci's perfect 10 symbolized the pinnacle of athletic achievement. It demonstrated that perfection in sport was attainable, even if only momentarily, and her name became synonymous with excellence and grace. Her performance did, however, expose the limitations of the existing rating system, leading to reforms in how gymnastics routines were evaluated and scored in subsequent competitions. At number 5, we once again take it back to where it all began: running. Holding this spot is the Kenyan runner David Rudisha. At the London Olympics in 2012, under perfect weather condition and a booming atmosphere, Rudisha stepped into the field and rewrote the history books by performing what was soon to be dubbed the greatest 800-meter race ever, shattering the then 15-year unbeaten record with almost 2 seconds, with a new time of 1 minute 40.91 seconds. What makes this performance so remarkable is the perfect running technique, minimizing loss of energy, coupled with strong endurance, which is why Rudisha led the whole race from start to finish. This underscores his dominance in the sport, as of 2024 the record still hasn't been broken. But never say never. Moving on to number 4 on the list, we have a man who truly understands the meaning of a leap of faith: Bob Beamon. The 22-year-old American long jumper stepped on stage at the Mexico City Olympics back in 1968. Usually, when a record is broken in long jump, it is beaten by small increments, typically a couple centimeters. But Bob Beamon had other plans. He sprinted to the line and took off, being in the air for almost a whole second before planting his feet in the sand. Bob managed to clear a distance of 8 meters and 90 centimeters. Completely annihilating the previous record by a whole 55 centimeters, which is almost 22 inches. Everybody was shocked, and the score took 5, 10, 15 minutes to be validated because the judges didn't have the equipment that could measure such a long jump. Nobody thought anyone could jump that far. They had to get a measuring tape from elsewhere to measure the distance of the spectacular jump. This huge win for Bob Beamon also added even more value to the Black Power salute, which was a statement against the systematic oppression of black people in America. Bob Beamon's record stood for a total of 23 years before being broken in 1991 by only 5 centimeters, really showing how incredible and groundbreaking Bob's jump was. And finally, we have reached the top 3. Shifting our focus back to running, but this time the female category. Back in 1988, an American woman named Florence Griffith-Joyner competed in both the 100-meter and 200-meter sprints in the Seoul Olympics. Florence was untouchable as she sprinted her way to gold in both events. What made her performances so incredible was the extent to which she broke the records. She beat the previous 100-meter record of 10.76 with a time of 10.49. and the previous 200-meter record of 21.71 with a time of 21.34. She was 270 milliseconds faster in the 100 and 370 millimeters faster in the 200 meter. That is a huge gap in sprinting. Her records were so much faster than any other woman to ever run in the Olympics that they still haven't been beaten to this day. This really reflects the advancements made in technique and training methods to achieve such great results. Speaking of great results, in our second seed we have the American swimmer Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is the one and only person to surpass Mark Spitz from number 7 on the list in the number of gold medals won in a single Olympics. At the Beijing Olympics in 2008, Michael Phelps managed to score himself an astounding 8 gold medals. He won in many different events, showcasing his superiority not just in different styles of swimming but also in team-driven events, which displayed his extreme endurance and leadership. Nobody has even come close to winning that many gold medals in a single Olympics, and I doubt we'll see anyone get remotely close anytime soon.
Look at that beautiful stroke he has. He juts that chin right along the surface of the water.
Anyway, enough is enough. I'm sure most of you know who is number 1 and what they did to attain this spot on the list. We, of course, have the previously mentioned man, the myth, the legend, Usain Bolt. Once again, reappearing on the list, the 100-meter men's sprint has always been the most sought-after event in the Olympics. Everybody wants to watch, specifically the final, to see the fastest humans alive compete in a matter of seconds. In the same Olympics as previously mentioned, Beijing 2008, Usain Bolt had big plans. The almost 2-meter, 6'4" giant stepped on stage and sprinted like none other had for over a decade. He beat the previous record of 9.84 seconds, crossing the finish line at 9.69, beating it by an insane 150 milliseconds, which is a huge amount over such a short distance. Not only that, but Bolt went on to beat his own record the following year at the 2009 World Championship in Athletics in Berlin, Germany, with a time of 9.58. A truly remarkable performance that displays the peak of human athleticism. Bolt's record has yet to be beaten. I wonder if I'll ever get to see this record being broken. Maybe in another life, when humans have transcended to a state of perfection beyond what we understand today. It seems so unimaginable though.